Thank you, Jefe, for that presentation. As always, he always makes me feel a lot more certain when I'm on the stage. Thank you all for being here. I know that we are after lunch, so I know it's hard for you to stay awake, so I'll do my best. If I see some heads falling, I will start jumping or throwing things to the one that is asleep, so be careful. I'm here to talk with you about this very unique species that is the Andean cat. The Andean cat is a magnificent species. But it's the most threatened cat species of the Americas. And this means that there are less than 2,500 adult individuals in the wild, in a huge range. But this cat is a lot more than just a cute species. It's the symbol of the Andes. And in the Andean Cat Alliance, we're working very hard to help this species thrive in its landscape. I do have a confession to make, because before everybody knows, we all need to be on the same page here. So I need to tell you this. I am a crazy cat lady. I have been a crazy cat lady since as long as I can remember. When I was a kid, I was rescuing kitties, staying away all night, feeding them, and putting them in shape, and just finding them a forever home. And there is a magic about cats. So let me ask you a question. How many people here share their lives with cats? Oh, that's a lot. Nice. For all of you that haven't raised your hands, you need to go to a shelter and rescue one. This is one of my cats. Of course, all my animals are rescues, cats and dogs and everything. His name is Jas. As you can see, he's a very handsome guy. And everybody that shares a life with a cat, we know a secret that the ones that didn't raise a hand, you probably don't know. Cats are animals that cannot be tamed. You can share your life with an animal. It can be your best buddy. You can sleep with him every single night, but you never own a cat. And I talk for experience here. So imagine this little bit of wild that it's in house cats, it's magnified in wild cats. Andean cats are, as my cousin just said like 2 weeks ago, he's a dog person, by the way, Andean cats are cute but deadly. And he actually got a point, because even when these cats are really beautiful, they are perfectly fit for their environments. And this means that they can live in one of the most extreme landscapes on Earth. I want to show you this video so you can actually see how they can be similar to house cats. You can see they have long tails, big hands, just like snow leopards, because they live in very similar habitats, but they can give kitty kisses to the camera. That's a good difference, huh? Come on, everybody likes to wake up with the whiskers of the cats in their face. So now we're going to play a game. I'm going to do this game in every talk, but I will keep changing the pictures. So you have to train your eye here. The game is called Find the Andean Cat. I know the picture is blurry, but this is because you have to imagine that you're in a very windy day in the Andes. You are cold, you are tired, and if you haven't found it already, it's probably already gone. So I'm just going to show it to you. I know, I cheated this time. Yeah, it's only the face. You can see only his face there, but the thing is that sometimes that's what you get to see. So we are trying to work here with a species that blends perfectly in its landscape. It has the perfect adaptations, and it cannot live anywhere else that is not the Andes. You have to keep this in mind. So the Andean cat goes all the way in South America. From up north is Peru, from central Peru, through Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina. In Argentina, it expands a little bit more, as you can see here, to Patagonia. We have teams working in the 4 countries where the species is, and that's quite unique. We're working the whole range of the species, addressing the threats as they appear in each country, in each region. Most of our work is actually trying to overcome political differences between our countries. This has been a challenge for us, and I think, I'm going to let it to you to decide if we are doing a good job or not. So the Andes are magnificent. This landscape finds a way to crawl under your skin. If you have never visited the Andes, you should, because we are on the same continent, and here we have the highest peak of the Americas. It's absolutely fantastic. Yes, it can be cold. Yes, it's also very high, so you get, if you're not careful, you get altitude sickness, but it's absolutely fantastic. Days like this are the majority, and it's absolutely great. And the Andean cat here appears as an umbrella species. The Andean cat, by protecting the Andean cat, we are protecting this landscape that is one of Earth's last wild places. The Andean cats are also very rich. Biodiversity is very high, even when you go, the first time you get to the Andes, you don't get to see anything, but if you're patient enough, you get to see all the wildlife and all the richness. But that richness is also covering the main threats. Also, because they are rich in wildlife, it's also a lot of richness under the earth. So extractive industries and the damage they are doing are the main threat for Andean cats. But don't get me wrong here, because I do believe that extractive industries are needed. We need to have minerals, we need to have oil for our everyday lives. At least for now, we need these resources. So we need to extract them. But what happened? In our countries that are so terribly corrupt, the same extractive industries that in another country do things right, in our countries they don't. And who pays that bill is nature. And that's what one of the things that we are trying to explore to work with. The other main threat for Andean cats is hunting. The hunting of the cats occurs when other predators attack livestock, and the local people get together and go hunt all the carnivores. They just kill everything by itself. To approach this threat, we are actually trying to implement a very, very novel project that my partner here, Rodrigo, is leading. Rodrigo is a colleague from Chile, and he will be telling you a lot more about this. He's a veterinarian, and he's actually getting his PhD at the University of Minnesota. So I'm going to let you guys with him for a while.
Thank you, Rocio. Hello, everyone. So, Andean Cat Alliance are dealing with hunting by different ways. This is one of the ways that we got the last time, working in local communities with children and local artists. One of the ways to get the information of the Andean cat is by camera traps. As you see, we are working in a very high altitude, very extreme areas. You can see that it's a very, we have a lot of high climate. Let me tell you an history about that. The last year in Chile was impacted with a big earthquake, 8.4 Richter scale. This picture was taken 5 minutes before the earthquake. I was there. This is the Andean cat habitat. I was installing a camera trap. I lived the earthquake in this view. I can tell you that this was a gift for me, because that was like a gift from the Mother Earth. This is not like an earthquake in the city because you are alone. You are just with you and the mountain. You can listen in the sound of the earth. So Just it's you and the planet. It was very dangerous, but it was a very gift for me, and also working in the Andean cat habitat. So anyway, I was working there. I installed a camera with the earthquake, doesn't matter. And we got this. This is a video that we got in just one location. This is the main prey of the Andean cat, mountain bizcacha, eating grass. Cattle eating the same grass. An Andean cat in the middle of the night. And a skunk. Another Andean cat in the same path. If you see this slide, mountain lion, mother, and her cub. A big male mountain lion. Andean cat at day. Feral dogs, unfortunately, without any control. Culpeo fox, injured, probably by the snare. Another Andean cat. So this is that we got when with the human is living close to wild areas. And what is the problem? Mountain lions kill livestock. And what is the problem with that? All communities get together and try to kill the mountain lions. They try to clean the mountains. And as you see, they use a lot of dog packs without any control in Andean cat habitats. So when local farmers get the mountain, they kill Andean cats by their dogs and different ways. Andean cats not eat livestock. This is one thing that you need to know. But there is a big misunderstanding about this conflict. The people believe that all wildcats are negative species. So this is something we are dealing. How we are dealing with that? Andean Cat Alliance are trying to, if we can stop the mountain lion depredation upon livestock, we can stop Andean cat kills. This is one way. This is a very successful way to work. Guard dogs. This is a puppy of the Great Pyrenees, breeding by a local farmer in our area. As you see, the goat feed the puppy, and then the puppy believes that the goats are his family. Finally, you get this big dog protecting the livestock in all his life. This is a very big, successful tool for conservation. What is the other way that we are working? We are creating awareness in local communities. We are working with local children in order to deal with the lack of knowledge. And what is the best way to do that? We are creating murals. We got a very big alliance with local artists. We have a very big team with artists from cities that go to the local communities and spend one week working with children and adults, local people. This is the best way to transmit the conservation message because it's an open area. A school in local communities is like a center for all the people in these little towns. This is the result of the mural that we did with children. In one side, we can see the human side, family and livestock, and the other, the wild side, mountain lions, fox, and other wildcats. And in the middle is the Andean cat, like a sign, like a symbol of Andes conservation. And this is one of the last results working with these local artists. This is an illustration, it's not a picture. And this is from Jacobo's story. I will leave you with Rocio, that she will tell more about how Andean Cat Alliance was helping in the liberation of Jacobo.
Thank you, Rodri, for that. That was just a glimpse of all this work that Rodrigo is leading with his team. This multinational proposal that he's leading is one of our flagship proposals right now, and it's been applied in Argentina and Chile, where the hunting conflict is stronger. But we want to expand that proposal and adapt it to other regions. We can talk about that if any of you wants in the questions and answers or later in our table. So this is how we first saw Jacobo. First of all, you need to know that there has never been an Andean cat in captivity in any part of the planet. Suddenly, we got this phone call about this cat that appeared in the middle of a synthetic soccer field in a town 20 miles far away from the closest similar habitat optimal for Andean cats. We don't know the origins of Jacobo, and maybe we'll never will. We think that he was taken from the wild. Somebody thought maybe he was a pet or something. He took him to the city. They realized it's impossible to tame. You cannot tame a house cat. Imagine this guy. He already took somebody's face in the... So we got Jacobo on a bird cage. That's how people sometimes consider these animals. We, in the Andean Cat Alliance, kind of like it activated something inside us. So Lillian, that maybe a lot of you people here know, she faced the challenge. She put together an interinstitutional committee. She invited the university, the zoo, the state, everybody, to work in whatever this cat needed. And what actually happened is that we took him to the zoo. The best place for him was the Vestipaco Zoo at La Paz. People at the zoo were great. We thought at first we kind of have our things. We couldn't trust them like completely, but they proved us wrong. They actually were very, very receptive of every single suggestion we had for them. They built an enclosure for Jacobo because he needed to be isolated. He needed to be in a place that he could not see humans. And the first thing that needed to be done with him is an assessment. We needed to know how long this cat has been in a house or with humans. So it came out that the cat was not domesticated. Probably he was less than a week with people, but we didn't know how this cat was. In what conditions was it kept? So we needed to do a lot of pathological analysis. We decided this cat needed to go back to the wild. That was our main goal. And in the Andean Cat Alliance, as I told you, we live and have our lives in 4 different countries, and most of our members are volunteers. So they work for the Alliance in their own personal time. And they're not volunteers like in the same culture as here in the States. Everybody has a day job, but this is their passion. This is what they would like to do if they get a salary for doing it. So what we did with Jacobo, after the people at the zoo told us that he was not being domesticated for long, he was kept at the zoo in this particular enclosure, and we actually worked with he gained a couple of pounds. You can see in this picture that he's starting already to look a little bit better. So what they did is he didn't eat dead animals, for instance, so he needed to be fed live animals. So he got rodents and I know this sounds rough, but it's what needed to be done. We wanted to avoid at all cost the instincts of Jacobo to go wild. Actually, the people at the zoo are the people that name him. His name comes from the scientific name, that it's Leopardus jacobita. So that's why his name is Jacobo, that it would be like a Jacob in Spanish, I think. In English, I'm sorry. So what happened with Jacobo? We decided that he had to go to the wild, but we needed this blood test done on him. But in Bolivia, they don't have a lab for actually doing those blood tests. So we activate all of our networks. So I traveled from my country that I live in central Argentina. I went to Bolivia. Actually, it was a very good trip for me, as you can see. I got to put my hands on an Andean cat. My gosh, that was like a life dream. And I took the blood samples up down to Chile, where another colleague of us, her name is Constanza, is working in a lab, and she got the permission for doing all these things. But it's not easy to take blood sample from a highly endangered species from a country to the other. So you cannot imagine all the bureaucracy around this. So we finally did it, and the results came back negative. It was the best information we got this year. So he was in good condition for being returned to the wild. So then we activated the other part of the network. So Lillian got in contact with the universities, and they started searching all over Bolivia, looking for a place to release this cat. They finally found it. This is Sajama National Park in the southern part of Bolivia. It's a perfect place because they have prey, they have other Andean cats, and the relationship with the community is pretty good. That was really, really important. So as an example of how the relationship with the community is, this is a Pachamama ritual. This is a welcome ritual for Jacobo that people at the community put together for him when we took him finally for the liberation. This ritual, it's like they open a little hole in the ground, and you have to put a lot of things that when you put something, you ask for a wish from the Pachamama, the Mother Earth. So they put this all together by themselves for Jacobo. So this is, we also needed a specialist person that helped us in the liberation process and the coloring process. Jacobo has a color. So what we did at this point, another team member of us that lives in northern Argentina traveled to Bolivia to assist in the liberation process. The liberation was highly successful. Jacobo woke out of his cradle, of his cage, and he smelled the air. Well, you're going to be able to see that in a couple of minutes. But it was really powerful. Finally, we got this highly enthusiastic but poorly equipped student to go to the field to monitor Jacobo. So this young lady is just in her primary school, elementary school backpack, is walking the Andes right now trying to look for this cat signal. A huge challenge for us was that we don't have a truck. So going to the Andes has been terribly, you have to imagine a place that doesn't have roads. So you need a 4-wheel truck. So we need to ask to borrow some from truck or to rent one, which is terribly expensive. So we have to do that every week because we need to follow. You cannot imagine how long these cats can walk in one single day. Imagine that a single female had a home range of 60 square kilometers. It's probably around 40 miles. I don't know if somebody's better at math here than me, but so this is what we have this great news to share with you. Jacobo is a lot more than just another cat for us. It not only proved how can we work together and that we have the manpower and all the capabilities for handling these kind of emergencies, but it's also a symbol of the Andes. In our culture, the Andes is like a living being. And as every other living creature, it needs a soul. And that soul is represented by Jacobo and the whole species of the Andean cats. I'm going to show you now a video of Jacobo's liberation. It's a little bit long, so if you want to talk through it, it's okay. But I just want to share this magical moment with you. He spent 5 months at the zoo before this liberation finally happened. So he runs away from the cradle, he runs away from the closest people, but you can see he's taking everything in. It's what you can actually, you can see that on him. He's recognizing the whole.
The important thing is that he has a very normal behavior, like a wild cat.
A vet is telling that, so trust this guy.
And you can realize how fat he got in the soul.
Look at him smelling the air right there. That's so great. So
he needs to smell the environment.
So he explores, he tries to recognize the landscape. For the first, the liberation was like a month ago. For the first couple of weeks, he stayed in the same location, but later he started moving farther away. He came back. For now, he's coming back to this location, but he's exploring. He's a juvenile. He's around a year and a half, so he will be probably moving to another location. That's why we need to follow him right now, and we need your support for this.
Looking for piscachas, maybe.
You can see how big his hands are, right there. I took 100 pictures of his hands. It was like crazy when he was asleep in there. So, I'm going to take more questions. I'm going to take some questions. I don't think we have time for a lot, but if not, you can find us outdoors. We have tons of brochures. I would love to talk with each one of you. I don't know if I can do it now, but maybe we can do it afterwards. I'm staying for another week in the Bay Area. So I just want one last thing. We know what needs to be done to preserve this species. It's been a huge challenge for us, and some of you have known us for more than 10 years. I'm telling you one thing here. We are growing. We have decided that we need to stay alive as an alliance to help protect this species. And for this, we need your help. So visit our website, send me an email, do whatever you need to do. I would love to get to know you, to build a relationship so you can trust on us and support our work. Thank you very much for staying this long. Any